Hello, in this video I'll be showing you how to use the finance model to create expenses and also generate reports. Okay, this is a follow-up on the previous video on how to use finance to create invoices and post payment. So first I'll start with this chart on the dashboard. This chart on fee payment status gives you a best eye view of the fee payment status of your school at every point in time. So as fee is being recorded, the chart will be differentiated. At the beginning of the term, the chart will be all red, 100% red, and if you take a cursor close to it, you'll be able to see the amount that you expected when the entire amount on your fee schedule is being paid by every single student in your school. And once payment is being made and recorded, the blue segment of the chart will give you an idea of how much, what percentage payment has been done, and how much you expected to see in your account for that reason. Alright, and then there are other reports that we'll be looking at in this video, but first let's start with the expense how to create expenses and then record them. So to create expenses, you come to finance and then you come to GL and bank account. Okay, GL means general ledger account, and I already have a few here: fee, payroll, and stationery. So you can add other account heads that you'll be making expenses on. So a few that I'm aware of is let's say electricity. Schools spend money on electricity, so you put the code of your account head, which could be a two-letter word or whatever you want it to be, and then put the name of the expense head. Name and description can be the same, or if you have time to describe it further, you can go ahead. Then there is an option that says is income. Electricity is not income, it's an expense, so you do not check this box. But for instance, if it would fee, it will profit from sales of books or uniforms, then that will be income. Alright, so you go ahead and save, and then you can add another expense. And this time around, let's add fuel. Schools spend money on fuel to power their generators, and then you click save. So once that is done, it will be added to the list of your account heads, GL account list. Okay, so you can see we have electricity, which is an expense, we have payroll, which is an expense, we have fuel, which is an expense, and then fee is showing as an income. Alright, so that's how to set up. So you can go ahead and add all the account heads that you spend money on. Then to record expense, you come to expense under the finance model, and then you click on record expense. Then this interface for you to record expense will open for you. You see the current session under the session drop down, current term, and then under class you will see all, and if you click the drop down, you see all the rest of the classes in the school. Now if you are making an expense on behalf of a particular class, you can choose a class, but if it's for the entire school, then you allow the default all school to show. Then under the GL account, you select the expense head. So let's say you've just expended money on salaries, so you pick payroll expense, or you're buying fuel, or you're paying for electricity bill, so whatever it is. So in this case, I want to record as electricity bill, and then you pick the transaction date, which I could say is today's date, and then if you have a receipt for it, a teller or something, you can go ahead and insert it. If not, you can just skip that. Then bank account, which bank account serviced that payment. So the account that you're using will show for you with the bank. So for me, there's option of cash, there's option of First Bank, Sterling Bank, and any other bank that you use. So you select the option that you want to. So for me, I will be selecting cash, and then there's an option for vendor. If you have let's say it was uniforms you were buying, and you have a particular vendor that supplies, or you have one or two more vendors, you can add your vendors, you know. So when you're reconciling your account, you can always tell where this expense was made and who was paid for it. So this button right here is for you to add your vendors. So you can always add your vendors to your list of vendors, and then the amount that you expended can be inserted here. And then description, you could say monthly electricity bill, and that can serve as your description, so that by the time you're looking at your report, it's comprehensive and you're able to make out what you spent the money on exactly. Okay, once all of this fields are being filled appropriately, you can click save and new if you have another expense to record, or save and close if that's the only expense you're recording. Right, so I'll be saving and closing. Now, having done that, that expense is recorded, and you can see under the transaction list, you see the date of the transaction number, the description, who posted the transaction, which user posted the transaction, the amount, and the jail account under which the transaction was posted, and the bank account that serviced, and you can view details here. Okay, so that's how to generate your transaction. Then now over to reports. To see reports of all transactions that have happened on the application, whether they be expenses or they be income, or it's all transaction, you come to report. Once you click on report, it brings you to this interface of all transaction reports. Then under the GL account, you can now select which account head you want to generate reports on. So is it school fees you want to see, and then you select the timeline, just like you run your statement of account from your bank. You select the start date, and then you select the end date, and then you click search. Once you search, the report will show under this transaction list, and the report can be copied, it can be exported to Excel, or exported to PDF and sent to the appropriate authorities that requested for it. Okay, so this is how reports are being run, and you still have more action here for further reports. You have profit and loss report, you have fee payment by class report, you have expense report, and you have all transaction report. Under this fee payment by class, you can see who made payment in that class, who made part payment, and who has not made payment at all. So whatever kind of report you want, they are all here, and you can always generate those reports, export them to Excel, copy them, or get a PDF copy of it. All right, thank you.